What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Najee Speaks Pharaoh, and we are back with another episode of the Campus Rundown. And today the topic is building relationships in college, dating, friendships, and how to make sure you know what you're getting into. So I'll see you when we're right back after the commercial. What's going on, y'all? And we are back with another episode of the Campus Rundown. Once again, I am Najee Speaks Pharaoh, coming from the illustrious Bowie State University, the first HBCU in the state of Maryland. And once again, our topic tonight is building relationships in college, dating, friendships, and what such. So first, I just want to introduce my fine guest tonight, my LB, my John Cradle, who's coming from the illustrious Bowie State University as well. Come on, let the people know who you are, and just let's talk about what's going on campus right now and what events is popping.
What's up, man? Wow, LB gave me such a great intro. I feel great. So my name is John Cradle, as you said, but I go by the stage name Project MC. I'm a senior communications major at the illustrious 1865 HBCU, man. Bowie State University. I work as a music director for WBSU Radio. I serve as a media personality director for TOT Bowie. I serve as the #1 campus host here at Bowie State University. Serve as an owner of my own podcast. Basically, a guy that loves to be in media, man. You give me a mic, I'm gonna make sure you hear me and make sure you listen to a good thing, you know? But Najee, I'm feeling great. I'm in a good mental space, man. I've been working on my craft, schoolwork, just overall trying to balance myself again with what I feel destined to do, get right with God, things like that. But I'm feeling great, man. I'm excited to be here, and of course, better to talk to you, of course.
Nice. And #1 is, it's definitely a blessing. Just make sure you know that you're on this platform. It's actually a blessing to have you here today. So one thing that we do here on the show is a mental health check-in. And we start off the show before we get into the main topic, and more so of mentally, how are you feeling? Spiritually, how are you feeling? And physically, how are you feeling? So I can start off mentally, basically all is well. Just kind of balancing a lot of things here. Okay, I'm about to say, I don't know if the connection is on or off, but basically, you know what I mean? Mentally right now, everything is going on well with me. Physically, everything is going pretty okay. You know what I mean? And spiritually, I'm just staying in tune, just making sure that my connection is right with God and stuff like that. Just making sure that I'm always spiritually in tuned and whatnot. Just making sure that everything is great and okay. But yeah, how about you? How do you feel mental health?
Mental health, I feel like I am in a place of reevaluation. And that looks like me reevaluating priorities in life, reevaluating how I want to move and carry myself, especially in terms of transitioning from being here at Bowie State to what's next afterwards, because can't be at Bowie forever, right? In terms of who is there for me, in terms of importance, those who are actually showing up and showing out for me versus those who say they do and then are not really, right? So it's just me reevaluating things and just taking a reality check to really see, is everything in order how I want it, or are there some things that can't be adjusted? I know it's definitely some things that I want to work on, but let me do an overall check and see what else can be improved on. So that's where I'm at right now. But other than that, all in all, man, I'm feeling good. I'm blessed. I try not to complain about anything for real, so I'm blessed, man.
Absolutely. So, man, I appreciate that. And before we get into the main topic, once again, I just want to introduce you. Today, you are the organizational spotlight. I'm going to spotlight a lot of organizations that you are a part of. #1, Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. You are a part of WBSU Radio, TOT Bowie, and I can name so many more. You know what I'm saying? for the people that never met you before, for the viewers that's watching right now, for the YouTube viewers, the Instagram viewers, and who else is tuning into the platform. Number one, we want to thank you all for coming on this platform. Number two, MC, just let them know a little bit about more what you do, who you are, before we get into this main topic.
So, when it comes to me, like I said, I cover media. I'm involved with the arts as well. I had the pleasure of serving as the 2019 Youth Poet Laureate for Prince George's County, Maryland. That just meant I represented all the poets under the age of 18 in Maryland at the time. I had the honor of becoming the Brave New Voices MC Olympics champion in the year of 2019 as well. I, of course, again, have the honor of serving as music director for WBSU Radio here at Bowie State, the director of media personalities for the Lunch Table Blog Show here at Bowie State University, #1 campus host here at the university. I'm a songwriter, I'm a song producer, I'm a lyricist, fashion designer as well. Shout out the brand, Michael Creative Collection, I'm basically a jack of all trades. I'm a guy that loves to pursue his passions, and wherever my passions lead me, wherever God leads me within those passions, I love to follow suit,
Hey, man, we let it hear that. So to get into our main topic tonight, the main topic is building relationships in college, whether that's dating, whether that's friendships, whether that's networking. So the number one talking point right now is if you are in a relationship or were in a relationship, how did you balance that in your studies? And I can start off because number one, I was in a few relationships in college, and how I kind of balanced that more so was making sure that number one, we both knew as partners what the priority here was. We are here for college, and we are here to make sure that we get our academics out. We're making sure that we are getting our studies and stuff together. Now, it can be time consuming because you got to make time for class. You still want to have fun as a student, but you still need to make sure that you're making time for that person that you're putting in that time with, because you still got to make time for them. Everybody has feelings. So to be able to balance that, I'm going to say more so having a schedule, like, okay, maybe Mondays and Wednesdays are date nights. That's the time we going out. The rest of the time, we got to make sure that we putting in time for our schoolwork and our money and our businesses. And then the rest of those days, maybe the weekends or whenever we're free on holidays, maybe we can spend time together. So for that topic, that's basically how I feel on how you can balance a relationship, and your studies at the same time. So points.
I would definitely agree. I was actually really, really funny. I just came from another interview earlier today with, GoFetch TV, Brian Experience. We say I was also I'm shouting, got a shout out. I was on an interview with him today. He literally asked me the same question in terms of if I'm dealing with anyone, so how do I balance it? I was telling him that with me, especially dealing with somebody who's in the media, the arts, the entertainment realm as a whole, it takes a certain level of dedication, because that's a very busy lifestyle that comes with it. Especially if they're a person who is getting booked to do things here and there, it's 24/7 on the go, right? And that's kind of how, besides me doing school and whatnot, like I could be hosting a show here, hosting a show there, doing an interview here and there. That's just how the lifestyle goes. And when finding a partner in this lifestyle, it has to be someone who is understanding that time is really like, of course, you make time for what you want. That is absolutely a fact. You prioritize what you want, but also that every moment counts. So it's not always just being able to drop at the dime, do something because I have to go. I have work. I have to go and do this. And at the end of the day, this is what's putting money in my pocket and what makes me happy at the same time. So it's not just a thing of I can't just be in a position right now where I'm putting a queen over my work right now, because I'm working to better myself, because at some point I want to be able to provide for my queen and have our own established household and whatnot, but I can't do that without working. And working, sometimes it means you can't always go play, can't always go funning all the time. You can't always go to every party, go out all the time with your friends. It takes sometimes hard work and sacrifice to get to where you want to go. So while I'm sacrificing that now so I can get it later, it's realizing that I have to sacrifice that now. And what that looks like, MC is single, man. MC ain't got, nobody that is necessarily there for me right now. Like, while I do have friends who are there for me, close acquaintances, I got y'all my LBs to help me out and whatever the case may be. But in terms of me having a queen that like I'm going in and out with, like I'm assisting her in her journey and she's assisting me in mine, and whatever that looks like, whether it's just providing peace, motivation, if you're helping financially, whatever that may look like, however you help, I'm not there with anyone right now. And I'm okay with being that because I'm not necessarily looking for anyone. Because what I feel like is that if I go and I chase my dreams, chase my passion, what God has for me, all the extra stuff comes later on.
Yep.
If I feel like if I start chasing love now, which I've done in the past, chasing love just leads me to dead ends, right?
Yep.
So it brings me back to what am I chasing? Chase God first. Chase the gifts and the dreams and the passion that He gave me, and all the other stuff will just come later.
Yeah, and I definitely agree with that, man. I feel as though like in this generation and time, like it's not more so of you being selfish. Like a lot of us are supposed to be selfless, meaning where we look out for another person if they don't have it, or we looking out for another person under any conditions, whether that's you got all this going on in life, but I'm here to love you and care for you just because you are who you are. But this is, I feel like, a time in our life now to where a lot of people have to put that thing on. Like, look, I gotta graduate. I need to get my full-time positions or whatever I'm doing in life to make sure that I'm established, because if we're going to be in a relationship and I want a house or I want a car or whatever needs to go on, I want to be able to have that and accumulate that. So it's like, hey, pull up to my house instead of, hey, you got to come to my mom's house, or, hey, let me, you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
for sure.
Right now, it basically, and that's what I feel. And I talk to, a few women or relationships that I've been in. And the second topic is basically navigating the single/dating life in college. And what I'm gonna say on that topic more so is like, being single is great. Being in a relationship is great. If you have a relationship now and you have something solid, hold on to that. It's a lot of people out here that don't have realness, authenticity. A lot of people live and date people or want to be with people over conditions. But what I'm gonna say is, if you are single, one thing is, it's okay to be single. It's okay to be able to focus on you and focus on yourself, because a lot of the times when you are getting into relationships at this age or this stage, it's like sometimes you got to deal with immaturity. You got to deal with a whole lot of other aspects that comes a part of that. And you want to be able to make sure, like, look, I apply for Bowie State, my application by myself. I can by myself. I want to get a degree. Once I have everything that I have self-accomplished, now I can feel like I got the room to date someone. Like, that's how I feel on it. It's like more so if I want to date, I don't know if I'm gonna date one woman, if I'm gonna date two, maybe three. I don't know how many I'm gonna date, but I want to be able to make sure I afford those dates. I want to be able to make sure I afford vacations or trips or whatever I'm going through at that time. So for anyone that needs this advice, more so navigating the single and dating life in college, if you are dating, continue to date. It's okay to date. It's a great thing because you're getting to know people. If you are single, know that it is okay to be single, and you don't have to get into a relationship with somebody if you feel alone or you feel like you need another partner there. Focus on yourself. You know what I'm saying? And one song that sticks out to me right now is the song by King Combs, Can't Stop, Won't Stop, Bad Boy. You know what I'm saying? Or get in your bag, stay in your bag, because it's real. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes like dating can kind of take away the end goal of like what you really thought. Like, I want to graduate this certain age. I want to make this amount of money by this certain age. When you start to date, when you start to get in relationships, you got other feelings, emotions. It's a lot of stuff that comes with it. And now you have to take on, and you have to make sure that that person is taken care of or that situation is handled. So that's my take on, dating. And
I definitely agree. I think that dating, and more so even being in a relationship, right? That is a priority, right? Like with any priority, you make things by a priority by, I hate to use the word, but prioritizing them by putting them above certain other things, right? And so if you're in a place where it's comfortable for you to be able to date, because dating shouldn't feel like a force, shouldn't feel like a hassle, shouldn't feel like a struggle, right? If it feels like any of those things, it's like, okay, maybe you shouldn't be doing that right now, because your priorities are elsewhere, whether it be school, whether it be work, whether it be whatever the case may be. But not for me, it's just I can't. Like, I enjoy being single. I mean, it's cool to go on dates and do that, but dating doesn't become a thing where it's like, okay, I have to constantly take her out on a date. I have to constantly plan movie nights. It's like, okay, I'm cool. Me and Shawty want to go out, so let's go. Oh, she want, okay, let's go catch this movie. But it doesn't feel like a thing of I have to do this. We're just having fun. College kids just having fun. But it's when you decide to take that step of actually being like dating one person, exclusively dating, being in a relationship, it's like, okay, where's that priority going on the priorities list? Because like putting it over work is equal to work, because at some point you might get stressed, especially if you have a lot of things juggling on your plate. I know me, as you heard, I juggle a lot of different things between school, off school stuff. So it's just a matter of knowing yourself and knowing what you're getting yourself into when it comes to whatever you want to do.
Yeah, that's a bet. That's a bet. So, I mean, definitely get into that. So, like, my next topic point here is what do you look for when choosing a friend group or choosing the circle of friends, right? And we are LBs already, so you know this for the life, this for the death of us. We're gonna be homeboys, we're gonna be whatever for the rest of our life. And it was bought by a bond of a lot of different things and aspects. But when you look for a group of friends, what do you specifically look for? And when you choose your circle of friends, like how do you know who is for you and who isn't? I'm gonna start off. I'm gonna say basically, at the end of the day, when you have a group of friends that's for you, number one, they're always gonna make sure that you're great, no matter the amount of finances it takes, no matter the amount of mental stress you're going through. Like if I'm mentally messed up here, and you my brother, you my friend, I know you're gonna call me, I know you're gonna text me, I know you're gonna make sure I'm good. Financially, if I'm down bad, I'm messed up, I know you're gonna make sure I'm good, make sure I'm taken care of. Physically, if I haven't been working out a lot or I haven't been eating the right way, I know you're going to check in like, bro, you still working out? Or you all right? Or everything at home going good for you, And how I know that I have a great friend group or a group of brothers and stuff that's good for me is because when I have a conversation with them, I always get to tackle every aspect of, okay, great. How your family doing? They good. How's everything going with you in school? It's going good. How the business? Good. How's work? Good. How are you personally by yourself, chasing your dreams and passions and goals? Everything good, man. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it doesn't matter. They don't always have to tackle every aspect. But when I have a conversation with them, I feel as though I can grow. I feel like I can be open and I feel like I can talk about whatever I want to talk about because it's like I trust this person and I know that they always have my back. And that goes through a series of tests, and stuff like that. So like you can know, like, all right, cool. Well, I remember the one time where I was dead broke and he was making fun of me because I ain't have $5 for such and such. But I remember when I didn't have money and such paid for my trip to such and such because he knew. So that's kind of how I look at it. You know what I mean? I look at the genuineness, the authenticity and stuff like that. So how do you feel
With me, I feel like one, not all friends serve the same purpose to me, right? So how I have y'all as LBs. Well, I didn't get to choose y'all. I mean, we just came together through a bond, right? But all of y'all to me are different purpose, right? You might be the kind of brother that I can talk to in terms of the business. You, Richard, Teddy or Chase might be the kind of guy I can talk to in terms of like for the empathy part. So right, if I'm feeling down or something, need somebody to talk to. Jamal might be the kind of guy I can talk to in terms of needing some kind of help with like life direction or holding me accountable, right, for certain things. So I feel like not all, and not even just friends, but people in our lives, I feel like not everyone plays the same role and that we all have a certain role to play in somebody's life. So my role in your life is different than the role I play in my president Julian's life, that the role I play in my Prophyte's life. So it's really just a thing of I choose friends based upon, okay, believe it or not, everything is like a transaction. Every relationship is transactional, right? Is it always monetary? No, but you're getting something, whether it's we're friends because we give each other great emotional support. We are friends because, hey, we give each other rides to school. Like whatever the case may be, relationships are built upon some of these things. So I choose it based upon, okay, who aligns with me in terms of some of the things I believe in, who has not necessarily as much personality is related because I'm a more extroverted, out there kind of person. I have a lot of introverted friends, but more so the things we believe in, morals, values, where we stand on certain topics, some of the things we're doing in life. If you're especially like doing something with your life and not just like sitting back doing nothing, letting life go away, like it's not somebody I can personally align myself with, unless you're a friend I already had and you just get in that ditch and I'm there as a friend to help pull you up out of that, right? But in terms of like meeting people, you gotta be somebody who has a good head on their shoulders and is trying to do something, regardless of what it be, but just trying to do something positive with their life.
I feel like, and when it comes to positivity, when it comes to peace, I feel like at this stage in our life is something that a lot of us want. And that's all we like. That's what we need at this point in life because a lot of us been through a lot of traumatic moments, A lot of us been through a lot of things, maybe with family. A lot of us maybe been through things with friends and stuff like that. So it's like at this point in our life, a lot of us is looking more to success. We're looking to we want to get to success levels and get into that success level. I need a group of people around me to make sure that I'm good always. I need them to make sure they're positive and they peaceful. I don't need chaos. I don't need all the extra people talking down. You know what I mean? So getting into the next point is basically protecting your peace and relationships. And sometimes we lose ourselves when we are in relationships with people, whether that's a woman or whether that's friends. You know, we hang out with the wrong friend group and they're doing the bad things. We start to do the same things as them, or we start to get that label as we're the same way as them because of the things that they do. And we start to lose ourselves for who we are. Even in a relationship, sometimes, like, let's say you work out all the time and then when you get into a relationship with somebody, you stop going to the gym because you're so used to going to the movies, or now you're starting to go to dinners every day. And it's like, oh my God, it's a piece of me that I did when I was single, when I was at my top self, that now I'm stopping. What is going on with me? Like, and with me personally, I feel like it was entertainment, and I stopped doing entertainment. And it's not specifically a relationship, but I've noticed over the past few years, it was like, gee, I took a break. What am I doing that's not like allowing me to get back on this platform? Like, is it me not loving myself? Is it the people around me? Or is it that I just need to do it? And sometimes I realize as though when I bring these conversations up, like I want to get back into YouTube, or I want to start dropping some reels or some TikToks. It's like, I don't even have the time to do it. Or, you know, the other person I'm with or whoever I'm with is like not motivated to do it, or they don't really care about it, but that means something to me. So it's like, that's something that you always have to value, is protecting your peace and making sure that you're feeling okay, because you're the only person every single day that can get upset. If somebody else was to cuss you out right now and you get upset over that, okay, that's your feelings, but you're the only person that can really be mad at them cussing you out because you are with yourself 24/7 throughout the day. So if somebody cussed me out, I can laugh at it because you can't make me mad because I know me. And nobody can make me upset. So how do you deal with protecting your peace in relationships or friendships and knowing not to lose yourself?
I think it's a matter of knowing your power, right? So to the point you just made of somebody cuss you right, somebody cusses you out, does you wrong, whatever the case may be, we as humans, we have the choice of, believe it or not, the choice of what emotion we evoke, right? So I could get upset, mad, cussing back out or that, or I can choose to protect my peace because now I'm letting you evoke something out of me that I wasn't going to evoke. So now you have power over me. And what I don't really like somebody to have that power over me to make me do something that I don't want to do, right? But for me, it's the thing of setting boundaries, right? So when establishing new friendships, relationships, whatever the case may be, establish those boundaries and talk to God. You know what I mean, talking to God, praying to God is definitely a way to tell, but really establishing those boundaries and just don't let folks get to you. Like, you know for a time, like, never say you've really seen MC get mad or let somebody like feel like they had something over him, because that's just not me. I know I got that, like a lot of that from my father. My father is very cool, calm, reserved. I've rarely ever seen him like get out of character and really get mad, and I feel like I definitely took that from him. Like, some things I definitely don't have patience for. Like, there be some things that annoy me, but in terms of anger, aggression, being upset, it's very rare that I get to that point. And I do it by, again, prayer, just sometimes staying to myself, knowing when to back away from a crowd and when to be extroverted, when to be introverted, for real, for me. And really just, again, reevaluating my power, and like when I'm put in situations, try my best to think about it as a whole, right? What's happening? What do I want to do in this moment? Because like I said, I don't like people having that kind of power over me and me just evoking emotions and showing out in ways that I wouldn't want to show out in.
Yeah, definitely. You never want somebody to take you back to a place to where you was before. Like, I'm MC that used to act this way back in the day, but I'm not this MC no more. You don't
or even the thing of like,
right?
Because I've never been that kind of person to like get upset. So I'm definitely not gonna let you get me to a place that I've never even been before. Like that wasn't even me. So I'm not gonna let you, especially out of a situation that when I step back really isn't like that big of a situation. I'm not gonna let you get me there regardless.
Yeah. So getting into that, so like, any final words of advice Any last words you want to leave on this topic? Once again, the topic is building relationships from college, whether that's dating or friendships. So I'm gonna start it off, and basically what I want to say is to people that's viewing this video now, whether that's incoming freshmen coming from high school to college, or whether that's graduating seniors getting ready to graduate college and go into the real world, building relationships in college is very essential, because once college is out the picture, a lot of the networks, a lot of the access that we have to a lot of these resources are gone. And you have to think about the bigger picture of, okay, I have to get married eventually. I may have to have children eventually. I may have to have like parties when I'm older, or maybe reunions. So it's like, how do you want your legacy to move on? At your wedding, how many people do you think is going to be there? 5 or 10, 15 or 20? You know, and then those relationships also can transfer to the real life world, whether that's corporate. Oh, you know, a boy that you met sophomore year does data science, computer science, or does communications or anything on that aspect. Hey, bro, you work for 92Q. Hey, bro, you trying to put a word in for me? Hey, what's the application? How did you get that internship? If you got a great relationship with that person, or they got you plugged in like that. Also, sometimes it's not even about the people that's in your major or who you know. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, bro, you know such and such that work for 95.5. Oh, I know exactly. That's my cousin in them, bro.
Yeah.
Yo. So I feel as though like having those relationships with people can get you into so many different networks that you never would imagine yourself to go into. And making sure that like I always got a mentality in my head. If I was to die tonight or tomorrow or any day, one of these days out the week, I know the friend that I was. I know the partner that I was. I know even how I treated people or how I made them feel, whether that was bad or good, but I know the impact that I played in these people's lives. So one word of advice is I want to tell to the people here is, if you get into dating, relationships, or even friendships, stay loyal, stay authentic, and stay true to who you are. And if people can't accept you for who you are or the conditions of who you are, then they're not an unconditional lover. You know what I'm saying? And that's just not meant for you or in your path of what God has for you. If they're not meant for you to be in your path, then they're not going to be there. If they're meant to be that way or that way, then they're going to go that way or that way. But if they're meant to be on that straight path for you, they're always going to be there. And never focus too much on a relationship or a situation or anything. Focus on yourself, and those people that's supposed to be in your life will always be there or come around you later on in life, or if they're not already there. And make sure that you maintain those friendships, because friendships are very valuable. And I think a lot of us take friendships down here. We put relationships up here, but friendships are very deeper than that. And you need to make sure that your friends are great, just how you are great, because you got to think, we getting married eventually. We having children eventually. Our parents going to die eventually. Who's going to be there for us in these times of happiness and sadness? You know what I'm saying? And your true friends and the people that you've been with is going to always stay. So any final words of advice, MC, that you want to leave on this topic? And then we're going to get into our accountability check.
I just want y'all to know, Najee was a pastor. He preached a sermon at one point. You know what I mean? Just saying, just so y'all know, so that word came from. But I definitely want to echo everything you just said. Definitely want to retweet that. But also, relationships in college, be mindful of who you create relationships with. So how we talked earlier about surrounding yourself with like-minded people. You want to surround yourself with people who are successful, who have their head on a good head on their shoulders. If you could surround yourself with people who are smarter than you, right? So that you begin to obtain that knowledge. Same thing when you surround yourself with people who are richer than you. So you begin to elevate. Like, you got to surround yourself with people who are literally of like minds. Another thing in college, make sure you're building relationships with these staff, the faculty, your professors, because at the end of the day, you come to college, these are the people who could definitely hold like the gateways to whatever career path you want, especially in things like art, media, entertainment. Like, these are usually people who have been in that field before. So like my director at the radio station, he's a guy who's been working in television and radio for the last 40 years. Done things with CNN, done things with Fox, has worked out of the state of Maryland. So that's definitely a person that I make sure to keep connections and relations with. And he's the guy that blessed me to work for the radio station. So it's because I made sure to stay connected with him and leverage that. And when you're having these relationships, especially with like professors, faculty, let them see the kind of student, the kind of person that you are. because they don't want to hand opportunities to someone who they feel like is just going to let it fall through the cracks, not do the work. They want to give it to people who they know are next to project and elevate whatever that may be. So definitely that. And again, surrounding yourself with like-minded people, like it got to be somebody who is driven, who is goal-oriented, who is trying to do something positive, not just for themselves, but for the people around you, right? Because it can pay to be selfish, but it means so much more when you make it to a place that you're now able to not just bless yourself, but bless the people around you. So then the blessings continue to be fruitful and dispersed throughout the community. So at the end of the day, like-minded people. Like you find you a group who are all trying to work towards a goal. Y'all can all help and elevate each other.
Yeah, I definitely totally agree on all of that, man. Like that's really real. And one thing about the blessing aspect, the more blessings you give, the more blessings you receive. And
Yeah.
you see, it was times, I don't know if it was my birthday or it was times where you may have cashed at me and like nobody knew. I didn't have no money at all. And getting that cash app was like, yo, like I could enjoy my birthday now. All right, great. Now I could go out and give me a little something because he said $20, $30, whatever the price was, and that probably went tenfold to you. You probably got 60 back or 100 back randomly, or a check that you was like, whoa, where this come from? And that's literally God, man. And one last thing I want to get into is something that we're big on at Alpha Alpha Fraternity Incorporated is accountability. And our conclusion here, what we do each and every week is an accountability check. Last week or 2 weeks ago, my accountability check was to make sure that I dropped my clothing brand, I dropped my videos in production, and I made sure I started my Motivational Mondays back up. I think I've succeeded in that. So my motivation, well, not my motivation, but my accountability for this week, for next week, is to make sure I think that I start to reassure more people around me that I love them, I'm here for them, and I'm anything they need. Like I'm the plug. Like, you need anything, you need to, guidance on anything, I'm here for you. So I feel as though sometimes like we get caught up so much in our busy lives and schedules that sometimes we forget to say, I love you. I miss you. You are enough. You're everything that I need. You are great. You will be the next this. You will be the next that. Keep pushing. Keep going. I'm looking at you. I'm watching what you're doing. So I think what I'm going to do for my accountability check this week is to make sure that I reach out to at least 25 plus people, because I don't have a small network. I know a lot of people, at least 25 people plus, and let them know that I love them, I miss them, and they have a lot of things coming for them in their way. And just to give them a little message, a quote about a scripture or Bible verse or something just about God to make sure that I keep their motivation going. And before we get out and close, after we do our accountability check, one thing we always like to do is let the people know, thank you for coming on here. And number two, where they can find us at. You can find me all on Instagram at Najee Farewell. That is NAJEE FAREWELL. My brand business page is Farewell Collection. Farewell Collection. FAREWELL Collection. This is one of my hoodies, my products that I got on right now for you guys tonight. But I just want to thank MC for coming on, and you could just let me know.
For sure. So I would definitely say for me, one thing I want to do to hold myself accountable by next week, I want to have applied for 3 more internships by next week, right? I think I do that. Whether it's sending my resume to somebody that said they got me, whether it's filling out an actual application, whatever the case, I want to make sure I take that direction in moving forward with my career. Don't want to do nothing too big, but I feel like that's a sustainable, measurable goal that I can achieve by next week, at least 3. For me, though, listen, y'all can find me on all social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, all that at I am Project MC. Again, that's I am Project MC. Follow me, man. Follow back. I'm not the kind of stingy, rude type. Follow back, man. Najee, I definitely gotta say, brother, man, I appreciate the opportunity. Bizzle for you looking out and helping me to achieve this. Shout out to historically Black Sense. Definitely appreciate y'all. The campus rundown, been following it. So I definitely love what y'all doing here, and man, looking forward to what's next.
For sure, man. And we are very appreciative of you coming on this platform just to express your story, express who you are, just to express the things that you are doing in this community. It is Black excellence here. And once again, thank you all for tuning in on another episode of The Campus Rundown. Topic: building relationships in college. We had a wonderful night. We out. See y'all next week.